Good afternoon, everyone! I feel like I should be singing like Beyonce for Alicia coming on. This is so exciting! Hi, everyone that's joining! I feel like I should be singing Beyonce because she's, a queen, and so is Alicia. I mean, I feel like I should be playing it in my head. I'll just waiting for Alicia to jump on. Hi to everyone that's joining. But yes, I'm just talking about how I should sing Beyonce and wait for the Queen to jump on. Although the one that's coming in my head is not Countdown, which it should be Countdown. It's Come take my hand, I will let you go. I will be your friend, I will love you so deeply. That's the one that's coming in my head. Hey Megan. So I'll just tell you about the little live Q&A that's happening today. So just waiting for the gorgeous Alicia to jump on. And we're going to chat all things Alicia, all things sex, all things training. If you are watching live, you'll be able to see a little question mark at the bottom of the screen. That is where you can drop us a question. I've got loads written down. I'm so professional. Loads written down. But if you want to drop questions in there too at the very end, I will answer some of your own questions. So I know it should be Countdown. I know. What does that one start like? I've been watching too much TikTok, and all I'm hearing is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, level up. That's the one I'm hearing. Okay. Waiting on Alicia to jump on. I mean, she literally just messaged me. It's like, Queen's making us wait. She's making us all wait. But that's okay. That's okay. We love her for it. We do love her. Okay. Let's find her. Let's see if she's on. Nope, she's not on yet. Okay, we do love a fashionably late queen. But yes, have a little. I love all the queens chatting in the comments. Love that. I love that so much. But yeah, I don't know whether I should entertain. I don't know. I'm not really. Should I entertain you while we're waiting? Okay. Do you want? Let's play a game. Which character did Alicia play in 6? There we go. Oh, she's here. Queen's here.
Hello.
Hi, Queen.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing good. I feel like we should just be doing this over a coffee. Like,
I know it feels like it should be more casual, but oh well.
I know. So if anyone does not know, I'm sure everyone in the comments is already going mental, but this is the one and only Miss Alicia Corrales-Connor.
Hello.
Yes, so do you want to just tell everyone a little bit about you? Just to start off, and then we'll get into questions.
What's a bit about me? So, I guess there's not really that much to tell. I've been studying musical theatre since I was about 12, I think, part-time in Glasgow, where I'm from.
Boop, boop.
And I was lucky enough to get cast in 6, before I even graduated. So I haven't done much else.
Yes, Queen. Yes, you did.
It's
yes,
been
you
my only feat so far. I mean, I'd like to have a crack at doing something else, but we'll see what happens with all this stuff.
Yeah. So we love Miss Rona. We love Miss Rona for all this catastrophe that she's caused in the theatre industry. But hey ho, we will get back. We will get back to normal. But yes, so I thought that both me and everyone else would love to do like a quick fire to begin with.
Okay.
So this needs to be like a first thing that comes into your head. There's no waiting about, like wham bam, thank you ma'am. So thick and fast, just like our Scottish accents, okay?
Yes,
Just so, are you ready? I
I'm
feel like
ready.
I'm on what's that? Is it no, not countdown. You know where
Yeah.
they're all very official. Okay, so you ready?
I'm ready.
Favorite color?
Pink.
Favorite beverage?
Oh, water.
Alicia.
I don't know, coffee.
Okay. Water. Oh. Um, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Oh, flying.
Okay. Who do you admire the most?
Ooh, I really admire Jamila Jamil.
Okay. Great one.
She's great.
Favorite cartoon character?
Ooh, I think Barbie.
The quick fire has kind of gone, but we'll
Yeah, yeah,
we'll
yeah.
we'll live for it. Um, finish the sentence. You ready? When I dance, I look like.
An idiot.
um, favorite Disney film?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes, you're on my side. Okay. What is your Starbucks order?
Vanilla coffee frap.
Nice. Favorite superhero?
Batman.
Um, who would play you in a movie about your life?
Ooh. Maybe. I mean, I would love it to be like Ariana, but she's very.
Oh yeah, would love that.
We'll go for her.
Okay, love that. Are you a morning or a night person?
Night.
Night. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
Play on my phone.
What is your best feature?
Oh, maybe my teeth.
Pearly whites. And what's your favourite time of the year?
Oh, Christmas.
Okay.
Does that count as a time of the year? Winter.
Wintery, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was being asked those questions, I would definitely say, I wouldn't say like springs. I would say Halloween. Halloween is my favourite time of the year.
I was gonna say Halloween, and then I was like, am I lying? Because Christmas is all, I don't know. Yeah, so like autumn, Halloween, Christmas, all of them.
Oh, see when like this is going to make me sound ridiculous. You know when orange things start to come back out. You know when pumpkins start to be that. It makes me happy.
Me too. I love it. I love the orange leaves. I'm like, ooh, yeah.
I know. See if I could watch Hocus Pocus all year round, and it was like it wasn't like frowned upon. I definitely would. Like absolutely would. But yes, so obviously if you're just joining, welcome. I know I'm speaking to Alicia. If you were joining the little Q&A that we did last week with Grace, I was speaking to Grace like I didn't really know her, but I do really know Alicia. Alicia is one of my theatre children. So in the land of musical theatre, I like to become everyone's mum. So when people have like problems, they like send little messages to me. So that's why if you think, why is she speaking to her like that? It's just because I am Alicia's theatre mom. Okay, so obviously, you are the most talented little nugget I've ever met in my life. But so let's talk about going straight from training. Let's talk about going from Ganta straight into something as huge as six. So obviously it couldn't have been easy. Like it could not have been easy, especially when you're still training. When like we were still training. I was even still training when we were on the train to go and do the 6 editions.
Yeah.
So it was all crazy. So it couldn't have been easy. So how did you feel like, did you feel like you rounded off your training before you got to go into something as huge as six, or do you feel like you were still learning on the job, or?
Yeah, well, I think it was definitely kind of like a big transition. I felt really blessed that I'd like even had the opportunity, if you know what I mean. So I was just kind of like, you know what, like how lucky can you get? So I went into everything with just kind of so much gratitude that that nothing really was like that. I couldn't see any negatives, but like looking back, it probably would have been nice to obviously kind of finish off and actually like go to graduation and like sit within the fact of like, yeah, now I've done this. Whereas it was kind of a bit like, okay, here we go. Never mind that. It never
Yeah.
happened. But yeah, I think I was definitely still learning while I was there, especially just about the way that it all works, that shows work, that the industry works. Like, and I think to be honest, I'll probably just continue to learn about that for the rest of my life because yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
but
think it's ever, I don't think it is ever something that you stop
no,
learning.
can't know,
Um,
can you?
I think you have, until you get to like the great stage, until you get to like, I don't know, I always say like Judi Dench and Julie Andrews, like, see, until you get to like that level, I think you never stop learning.
Yeah,
Um, Especially when you become one of those greats in the theatre industry, you're so highly respected, but that's simply because you've gone through all of the
yeah.
trials and tribulations of everything that you have previously learned. Um, okay, so here's a big one. Do
Oh,
you have any pictures of you as Kay Howard that the world has not seen?
ooh, yeah, I probably do. I probably do. Um, the problem was on the ship, the company was like raging about us. Oh, my phone just tried to lock itself while I'm um, the company was like raging about us taking any photos in the dressing rooms. So I've
Okay,
got a lot of dressing room pics that I'm like not allowed to share. But you
okay.
know, I mean,
Did you ever like, were any, I want to call them production shots, were any production shots taken by Norwegian that haven't ever been seen by the world that only you guys got, or?
you know, no, they did a thing. They did a thing at one point where they like shot us a trailer, but we don't know what happened to it. So
Oh,
yeah. So actually, if any of you kind of internet sleuths want to have a look and see if you can figure out what the heck went on there, I'd love to see the
yeah.
trailer.
I think everyone would love to see that
Right?
trailer.
Yeah.
Not just all the Alicia stands, but I think everyone that was ever on Bliss would love to see that. That would be so nice. Um, but yes, okay. So let's talk about um all things six. Let's talk about all that goodness.
Absolutely.
So obviously, as Kay Howard, you did you feel like you were like did you feel like you had a lot of pressure going into a role that had like not so many greats before you, but like everyone who's played Kay Howard is iconic, and
Yeah.
trying to find something original. Obviously, being Scottish, that was original in itself.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
So, also, I think every Scottish person would stand for the fact that you've brought someone Scottish into six and brought that accent around. It's like,
It's one of my proudest moments. I'm
absolutely.
pleased with.
Um, so yeah, what would you say that? What's the thing that you think that you've brought to six, and Kay Howard, so that if people after you are looking back and be like, okay, I loved that Alicia did. So what would you say?
Well, it's really funny because I feel like my Kay Howard changed so much throughout the whole thing. Like, I feel like she
Okay.
was so different in rehearsals than she was like by the time I was done on the ship and by the time
Okay.
that she was on tour. Like, she went through it. She was doing all sorts, and I feel like one of the things that I like tried out that I quite enjoyed was just that mine was very young. She
Okay.
she was very like she was clever and she still had like that kind of edge because Kay Howard is brilliant because she has that like kind of clever edge that you're just
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, you're a little bit dangerous. But mine was also very soft. She was like very, very soft, especially in some of like the argumenty scenes and stuff. Like she got her feelings hurt very easily. I always call her Baby K because she was a little bit of a baby,
Right.
which I think worked because
Yeah.
that, like, historically she was far too young to be going through everything that she went through. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So do you feel, so obviously mentioning the history, do you feel like going into a show like this, you had to learn so much about that history before you could even attempt to delve into the character?
So I am not good at history. I know nothing. I can't even remember yesterday. Like,
Okay.
not my thing. Not my thing. In especially in like school and stuff, I was like, nah, not interested, not doing it.
Okay.
So when I when everyone was like, oh, but you guys are British, so I guess you know all about the Queens already and stuff, and I was just like, absolutely not. I know nothing. But luckily, at the very beginning of the rehearsal process, all of the creatives were like, okay, we're gonna do some kind of researchy tasks, and we're gonna tell each other about the Queens, and we had like meetings, like not meetings, but like sit downs with the creatives where we like talked through what we think about our Queen and like her actual story and stuff, and what we wanted to bring from the history to the show.
Love
And
that.
that's very, very useful and very necessary because honestly, should you really be telling a story that you know nothing about? Probably not.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah,
Um,
definitely better off for the whole thing.
yes. So obviously, when you were like rehearsing and things like that, did you feel like, obviously being cast as one character, did you ever have like, I'm going to call it envy? Did you ever have like envy of, for example, when Aragon sings No Way? Were you ever like, oh, I wish I was Aragon because she gets to sing that song? Or did you ever have that moment? And if so, which queen did you want to be?
Okay, so actually, all the parts are like so iconic. So
Mm-hmm.
I had that about like all of them. Like for example, with Aragon, I was always a little bit jealous because Aragon really reminds me of my mom because my mom is Spanish, and I was always about,
Okay.
I wish I could like, you know what I mean? Like I wish I could have a go at that. With Boleyn, her lines are incredible. Like her script is just excellent, and everyone just loves her. It's
She's
impossible not
iconic. Yeah.
exactly. So I was always a bit like, oh man, but like I love Boleyn. I would like to. And with Seymour, I was always kind of it sounds it sounds annoying, but I was always a bit jealous that she just got to like stand and sing and not think about anything else, but just like be like right there in that.
Mm-hmm.
I was always a bit like, oh. With Cleves, she's just like really fun. Like I was always just a bit like, oh, it'd be really nice to be the fun one because sometimes it can feel a little bit with Howard that you know as performers, I feel like a lot of the time you're on stage, you kind of are looking for that like validation that people are enjoying what you're doing, or at
Mm-hmm.
least I am. Otherwise, I'm like in my head, like, oh gosh, does everyone hate me? Does everyone think I'm terrible? And I think with Kay Howard, it can actually be difficult because the song is just so disturbing for most people that there's not much validation. You can go through shows where you belt your heart out and you're giving all you got, and at the end everyone's just like,
I mean, I will hold my hands up and say, see, until I got the chance to hear you sing All You Want to Do,
mm-hmm.
I hadn't looked at it that way.
Oh, okay.
I was so like sassy, all you want to do, like love me, like I was all of that side,
Fun.
like sexy fun, like love me.
Yeah.
Until I'd seen you sing it, I was like, oh damn, like
Well, that's great to hear. Actually, I love that.
I don't know
Yeah,
if I don't know if it's the Scottish thing in me that I'm like, oh, I
totally.
really connected with the Scottish act. Like, do you know what I mean? It's so silly. But
No,
yeah, it was until then. Although I love it when queens bring so much of their self into the character, and you're like, oh wow, I didn't see that at all.
oh yeah, totally.
Love that.
Yeah, one of the
Um,
things about the whole show is that like so many different people just play the same part, but it's completely different.
completely different. Yeah. So obviously it doesn't have to be Kay Howard, But in the show, which character would you say is most like yourself as just Alicia?
Um, I think it probably is Kay Howard.
Okay.
I think they're quite good at casting. I think it
There's
probably,
a reason. There's
yeah.
a reason they do what they do.
I've got like a little bit. I think sometimes I can be a little bit par just because I quite like to look at the logical side and
Hmm.
bring things together. And also, there's a little bit of Boleyn because I like to think of myself as at least a little bit funny sometimes. But I think Kay Howard is quite me.
Yep. Okay. Love that. So obviously, again, it doesn't have to be Kay Howard. But what is your favourite song from the show?
I actually think my favorite song is Ex Wives,
Okay.
just because it's kind of lyrically genius and the like chord progressions just like speak to me. Like I've got a weird thing with music. Some sounds are just like it. I'm like, yes, that is the thing that I want in life, just to hear that over and over. And
I
X Y.
think it's see the you know
Oh,
the
yeah. Oh,
yes.
absolutely. What I
Yes.
love that's in the track that obviously they can't really do in the show live is the is when they do the like second chorus, I think, and they do and they like do the it's got like the distortion on it before.
Oh, I know what you mean. I
Yeah,
know what you
it's
mean.
so sick. I just love that.
Do you not
That's
think we should have like um in theatre, if a song like that is in the track, we should have like one of those mics, but then we should also have like the three that make
yeah,
you sound, you know, the ones that I'm talking about that like put all the reverb and stuff
yeah,
on when you actually sing. Those would be so class. Can you imagine them in like We Will Rock You?
right, yeah.
Those would be epic. Um, so going on to other kind of musicals, onto other dream roles. Obviously, everyone would love to see you going back in six. Like that is
Yeah,
that's
and I would
no.
love to do it again. I would definitely do
But I
it.
kind of said the same thing to Grace. Obviously, as an actor, you don't want to get stuck in one position for too long. So, obviously, everyone would love to see you back in six. But what is the next dream? Because obviously, one dream has already happened. So, what's the next big dream?
Well, there's a few big dreams. I would love to do something relating to the Heathers musical. I would love to do something with Heathers because Heathers was actually my favorite musical when I was wee. It was like
Yeah,
the one that I before Six like existed. I was like, I want to be in Heathers.
yeah.
That's like the big goal. I also would love to be involved with Mean Girls. Would love that. Um, I would also love to be in like Rent. Rent would be really cool. Um,
Michael, I love when you pop into this live. He's always like, "Yeah, what is the next big dream, Alicia?"
where is he? I haven't seen him.
I love when he pipes up in these lives.
um,
I mean, totally can see you as both of those characters. Definitely could be an awesome Veronica, and definitely could be an awesome, like every fibre of my beat. Like when you posted the video of you singing "So Your Best Friends Screwed You Over."
yeah, I'd rather be me.
Yes, absolutely everything. Um, Unrelated to the musicals, but are you taking requests of what next color your hair should be?
I mean, I guess I could take some requests. It's actually she's like fading now, and I'm like, no, I don't know what to do with it. I'm enjoying to be honest, I'm actually trying to be good because this lockdown stuff is turning me nuts. I'm like, I want to be blonde again, and then I'm like, no, don't do it. You know what I mean?
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, I should take some requests, some votes on what the next little front pieces go.
Because everyone's saying pink now, but I was like, we should definitely do a Kay Howard moment and make it pink. Like
I
that would be
could, I
that would be
could,
so cute. Or even if you didn't want to go full pink, just get one of those like clip-ins and put it all put it
ah,
all the way around like a bandana.
yeah.
Um. So yes, so that is the kind of dream roles. But if you didn't want to be in a show for the main role, what would you want to be in? Like, what's the dream show to be in? Even just to be in the ensemble of?
Hmm. What would I like to be in the ensemble of?
I mean, I know that you're not an ensemble kind of gal.
I know, I'm like, yeah, great.
You're not an ensemble gal, but if you had to be, like,
Yeah.
like for me, it was always like the dream of being in Les Mis just for that one day more moment, or the dream of being in We Will Rock You for that massive, massive choral moment, or things like that. What's the choral moments that you want to be in?
Okay. Well, weirdly, I think it's probably still things like Heather's. Like I think even just like the backing.
Michael, stop with the sass. Does Alicia know what ensemble is? Stop with the sass.
Dare you? I'm not like difficult.
I'm not difficult.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not picky. No, yes, even like the backgroundy vocals for things like Heather's or
Yeah, yep.
see like Rent with like Seasons of Love.
Yes.
Like that. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting that I would be like, oh, I would love to. Honestly, though, I think if I was going to be in ensemble for a show, I would like to be in some kind of dancey ensemble. Oh, I want to be in Hamilton too. Forgot that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I think it would be something kind of dancey because I think that would be fun. You know?
Oh, just when you mentioned Hamilton there, the sadness in me is like, I would want you to play Peggy for the simple fact that you then become Maria.
Yeah.
Mariah Rent. So I would want you to be Peggy. Obviously, Peggy. People don't remember Peggy as well
But Mariah,
because you've just that. But oh, you would be such a great Mariah Reynolds. Oh yes, absolutely. So yes, let's jump on to some of the questions brought in by the lovely fans. Okay, so we've just did dream roles. What has kept you going through 2020?
sheer necessity. No. Yeah, I think the hope of I think something yeah, I think just the hope of a better future will just always keep me going because I have big dreams and I've had big dreams since I was tiny and that's always the thing that
Mm-hmm.
keeps me going is that I am really passionate about what I want from life and Michael too, of course. Yes,
I literally cannot cope with you, Michael hands. Me.
but yeah, also actually to be fair, on that note, support from people that I really love and care about and that clearly really care about me has
Yep.
also kept me going. I am very, very lucky to have a lot of lovely people around me.
Mm-hmm. I would have to agree with that statement. It's not about the quantity. My mum loves this. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality of the people. So the people that check in on you regularly, your lovely agent who likes to send you little emails and have little check-ins with you and all that good stuff.
To be fair, actually, I do have to say, as I'm actually quite lucky with quantity as well as quality because a lot of you guys,
Oh, that's very true.
etc., are very, very kind to me. The amount of people that I have that like slide into my DMs every day to tell me like lovely things is unbelievable. Like I don't think I've ever had as much support in my whole life, or like as I have right now with all of you guys. It's really very, very
That's
special.
so nice.
Yeah. And it's like one of the best things about this whole experience with Six and everything is that it's brought me everyone.
Yeah. So Six has a huge fan base. What's it like being a part of that?
Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's literally one of the best parts of the whole thing. Like, I don't know how, because the internet can be a very scary and toxic place, especially how it's like full of anonymity and people that can like really say things without having to feel the repercussions.
Consequences, yeah.
Exactly. But somehow the Queendom has like created this like beautiful community, just like so full of like love and support, and it's like unconditional love and support, which I think everyone deserves. You don't have to be perfect to receive love and support. So it's just it's just amazing. It's the best thing I've ever seen. It really does restore my faith for the world.
I know. What's it like performing at sea?
Very interesting. It can be I think that the main thing I always say is that you really do feel it. It's not like I heard so many people before I went on the ship be like, you get used to it, you get your sea legs, and you don't even feel the boat moving. That's a lie. They lie. You feel the boat moving.
Yeah.
You have to squeeze every ounce of your core not to fall over.
Yeah.
I did stumble a good few times, and there was a couple of times where we had to like change our positioning and everything. Like I couldn't bevel because if you beveled and the boat moved, you were done for. So yeah, that's definitely strange. Also, I think cruise shows tend to like be really late at night, and like I'm really sorry for being an old grandma, but I do not want to start a showing of Six the Musical at 10:30 at night. Like I'm done. I need my bed. So that was also very interesting. Yeah.
That is a late show. I remember my best friends telling me about a time where, so he was in Greece and he had to do like a flip, and he was mid-air and he saw the boat coming up like this.
Oh.
And he was like, oh no, and then he just had to crawl off. Like,
oh, that's sick. That's terrifying.
It is something that is quite scary. What's your favourite part about cruise life? So the opposite. So
okay, well, I think my favourite part about cruise life is probably that if you're on like a good contract with like, and you're like going to visit places that you want to see, and and you get to like get off, then that's amazing because it's just like traveling and like working all at the same time. I think that could be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I suppose, like for example, Hazel was in a cabin like 3 doors down from me, so it's just like living with your friend. The only problem is she's the only person you get to see for like 6 months, so by the end of it you're like, get away from me. But that
yeah
as well.
Who's your best friend? I think you've got quite a lot. Like
I do. I'm very lucky. I have a good few best friends. I'm obviously very, very close with Hazel and Kate. I have best friends from uni that I still spend a lot of time with. Oh gosh, now I'm like, am I forgetting people? You know what I mean? No, do you know what?
You have to go to like the different parts of your brain. So I've got like uni,
exactly,
like training.
Yeah, no, I am quite lucky. I have quite a few people that I would regard as very close.
Yes. Best message you've ever gotten from a fan?
Oh gosh, best. See, that's hard. I get a lot of really very wonderful messages from a lot of you guys. And there ain't no way that I am going to remember one. But I think the messages that I really appreciate can be usually in the realm of like, I get quite a lot of messages that are like, oh, you said this and it made me think about this and it like changed the way I see myself, or you did this and now I feel like I can do that. Like for example, actually I received a message recently about when I was like 10, I think, I got my appendix taken out, like removed, and I've got like a scar obviously from the surgery, and I have never once been I've never felt like embarrassed or like kind of about it. And I got a fan being like, oh, I saw your scar and that you weren't embarrassed, and now I feel less embarrassed about mine, and I've always hated it. And I was like, oh gosh, I can't believe that. I've never even thought about it like that. But it's like,
that's so sweet,
so nice. I'm like, well, thank goodness, because I mean, obviously I care about my career and stuff like that, but also it's great to just be like a nice influence for other people. It's like, what a dream. Like that's definitely a very nice thing to aspire to do in my life.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm getting into, so like when I am looking at the questions, I'm like getting into, I can tell there's like all the hardcore fans now.
Okay.
They're like asking like like I'll bring this one up because I feel like it is an important topic.
Oh yeah, pronouns.
So moving on to pronouns, I think it's something that in the musical theatre industry, I think, don't get me wrong, I think we have gotten a lot better. And I think the industry as a whole, we are growing and evolving, and there's things that. So I'm a straight woman,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I have to ask my friends, not because I don't want to know, but because I have never been told about any of the things about
And they
LGBTQ plus
yeah,
community. Um, so to be told now that pronouns are such an important thing, that I learned from that as well.
yeah, for real.
Um,
So
so
until so obviously my pronouns are she her,
mhm.
and I until like quite recently, because I looked at people putting their pronouns in their bios, and I was a bit like, is that for me to do? Because I was kind of under the impression that that I just appeared uh, as a woman, and that nobody would question it, and that nobody had to like really question my pronouns, and I felt like I was like maybe like taking attention away from people that
Others.
yeah.
Yep.
But then upon like actual education, I realized that no, the people that, and by the way, also it also made me question the fact that just because you think that somebody appears female or feminine doesn't mean that that's what they identify
That's what
as.
they identify as. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but yeah, no, upon like education, I learned that actually for like cis people to put their pronouns in their bio is actually even more important, because that's how you normalize it and remove the danger for people that are trans, or people that that might identify differently to how we think societally they would appear. Um,
It's like you said, it's normalizing. So like for years there was such a taboo about such silly things like plus size women, about stretch marks.
yeah,
Like such a huge thing about it. And now see, because it's been normalized, you have no idea about the amount of people that now can post a picture that's got slight or cellulite, or this has
yeah,
turned into like a massive girl talk, and I'm so for it.
yeah.
Um,
No, but no,
but
totally.
absolutely, so it's so pronouns are so important. Um, um,
And yeah, anyone. Oh, Rose. I just want to say as well, for like anyone who says and is like confused about it, please do look into it, because I was also confused. There is no shame, but it really is very important for cis people, if you're able to put your pronouns in your bio, to be a good trans ally.
I know the answer to this one. What roles did you originally audition for in six?
I originally auditioned for, I mean, you can't really audition for specific roles, just for anyone who doesn't know.
Yep.
But the roles like up for, once I'd like done my initial me audition, were Boleyn and Adigan and Howard. And I also actually did one for Parr.
Par.
So yeah. So yeah.
You could have been a swing. Could have been a swing.
You know what though? I could not have been a swing, because it's the hardest job.
Yes.
Like, oh my goodness, being a swing anyway is difficult. Being a swing for sex, oh, I honestly, I could never.
Speaking to Grace, absolutely confirmed that for me. Like,
Oh, I don't know how to
she's a
do that.
god, an
Yeah,
absolute god.
really.
Um, oh, if you could have played any of the queens on tour when you were the alternate Howard, who would you have wanted to play?
Um, I'm gonna say probably still Adigan or Boleyn.
Okay.
I do love them. I love them a lot. Although Adigan is blinking hard, especially since she's first.
Yep.
Like, there really is like pros and cons to being like everywhere in the show. Like,
Yeah.
I'm great at first, because you do it and you get it over with and it's done. But also you're like terrified. Whereas Howard, I've like managed to like settle into the fact that I'm on stage doing a show, but I'm like exhausted and breathless before I've even begun.
Yep.
Like, you just have to weigh it all up.
Pros and cons. Pros and cons. Do you ever stalk your own fan pages?
Oh my god, yes, absolutely. I absolutely do. And a lot of the time, you guys will probably see it. Like, I'll click on something, maybe like an edit or a post that somebody's made about like a different queen, like one of my friends, and I'll like click on the page to look at the page, and I'll like scroll and I'll see something that was about me at like September, and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that, and I'll like go and like it, and I just like drop it there, like, oh,
Love that.
I love it. So I absolutely love I love the art. The art is the most amazing thing ever.
And this is what I was going to mention because you know the people that are like actually drawing or like painting, they're incredible.
It's incredible. I can't believe it. I can't believe that there are so many of
Hi,
you.
Michael. We love you too.
I can't believe that there are so many of you that are so incredibly talented and
So
that
talented.
spending your time making images of me. I'm like, I've never felt more loved in my whole life. It's
It's
so
so lovely. They are so good. So
yeah.
good. Um, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
I'm going to say probably the chicken because I guess that the chicken will have evolved from
I'm going to
whatever.
say chicken too.
Great. High
I
five.
would say that too. Um, do, 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 do. Ooh, what's your favourite musical theatre song?
Oh, that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I like. Oh, you know what I really love right now? I really love the. I don't even know what it's called. From Hadestown, the reprise.
Wait for me.
Yeah, that
Yes.
so epic, like beautiful. And even though Zara, her voice is like incredible. Oh, I love Miss Saigon. I really love Miss Saigon as well. So maybe something from that.
Do you want to record that? Um, I'm coming away from me. Please
Hell
record that.
yeah.
Please record that.
Yeah.
Actually, what was the song that you and I were meant to record years ago? What was that?
What did I do?
Oh, Spark.
Oh yeah.
Spark of. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, we should do that.
Yeah. We'll have to.
Advice for acceptance being LGBTQ plus.
My advice to self acceptance is that it is still a kind of an ongoing journey, and that you are probably going to feel a lot of kind of internalized homophobia, and it's probably going to make you question if if you feel that way, because you know that you feel that way and you're like, does that mean that it's correct? But it doesn't. It's because we've been like brought up and we've been like brainwashed into thinking all of these things, that they are so ingrained into our brains and into the way that we run through like our society, that it's going to make you feel like all of these like horrible harmful thoughts are coming from you, and they're not. So just try and be kind to yourself and surround yourself with people that are in a similar position and that kind of are there to like love and support you, kind of share the burden.
Absolutely. Um. Oh, when will Murder in Greenville drop their first song?
Yes. Well, there's lots of editing going on just
I'm in
now.
a band.
I know. Yeah, no, there's some editing going on. We obviously we want it to be. I mean, it's we want it to sound good
Yep.
enough for you guys
How
before.
do you know this guy?
This guy's my dad.
Stop
Yeah.
it. That is not your dad.
It is. It's a little family project. My dad is so
That's
musically.
incredible.
My dad's musically talented. He's the one that like taught me to start learning how to play piano and everything. He can sing, and he it actually just started because he was writing music that I was like, that music's brilliant, and he was like, well, do you want to sing it? And I was like, yeah. And
Oh,
we've got a few things.
we need to get your mum involved and get like a Spanish like bop going.
I'm
Like,
afraid I do not think that mum and dad would be anywhere near each other, even in a band. They'd be like, no.
even if she was to like record from afar, just this, I can so hear a Spanish bop. That'd be amazing. Oh, that'd be so good. Um. Oh, this one's quite deep. Do you think being LGBTQ plus makes it more difficult in the industry?
Hmm. I I'm gonna say that I don't know. I don't have enough personal experience
Yeah.
to give anything from my point of view, and I actually don't know. I don't know anyone who has like told me that it has like affected them in that way. I think hopefully that the arts are kind of dedicated to being kind of you
I
know.
was going to say, if anything is the most accepting of a
Yeah,
community, I
yeah,
think it would probably be theatre and the arts.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Throughout anything I think I've ever been involved in, be it auditions or training or just speaking to people, I don't think I've ever heard a homophobic scenario in the theatre. It's usually
Well,
people from outside of the theatre industry saying
yeah.
negative things towards.
Saying that, to be fair though, that is probably the case with maybe like gay men, but
Yep,
to be fair, I don't know that many, or I didn't before six. Funnily enough, I didn't know many queer women in the
in
theatre.
the industry.
Yeah, or even like when I was in college and stuff, I I don't think there was many of us. I'm not sure, and obviously you're always worried of that whole, oh, I'm surrounded by lots of women and I don't want them to think that I'm staring at them and all this stuff. So like I get that, but I definitely don't think that it's. I mean, I know for a fact that it hasn't hurt me so
Yeah,
far. I hope that it never does, and I hope that it doesn't hurt anyone else.
yes, absolutely. What's your favourite place in London?
Ooh, oh, I really like Camden. I really, really like Camden.
Love Camden Market.
Oh yeah, and there's a beautiful pizza place called Pizza, and it's a big vegan pizza place, and it's incredible, and it's so like, it's like healthy, but not like gross healthy. It's like amazing, and it makes you feel like you're alive again from the inside out, and it's just perfect.
Okay, don't trick me into something like this, because my best friend did that to me, and he was like, "Let's go for pizza, but it's healthy." And then he took me to Cake Kitchen, and I
Oh,
think it was the worst experience of my whole life.
oh, that place is gross. Hell no, 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 no. Camden
Like,
Pizza is amazing pizza. I think it's like I think it's won awards for being like one of the best pizza places in maybe the UK or maybe even Europe.
I will hold you to this,
Yeah,
Alicia. I will hold you to it.
pizza day.
What's your favourite skincare product?
So my skincare is like really, really awful. I don't look after my skin at all. It's a mess. And one of my best friends, she is really into skincare, and she actually bought me like a little cleanser from I think it's Glossier. So I use like a cleanser now, so I feel really fancy. And she also told me what like face creams to get. So I have like a little night cream and a day cream that I just got in Boots. But that is it. Before that, I literally was just washing my face with hand soap
Water.
and yeah, or like Lynx in the shower, like washing my face and then like
Nice.
throwing on some like E45 cream to moisturize. So my skincare is a work in progress right now.
Okay. This person obviously isn't Scottish. Do you like iron brew? I think it's actually a cardinal sin. I think you go to jail
For not like
in
brew.
in Scotland if you don't like iron brew.
You know, the thing is as well, I don't really drink iron brew, but one thing that I do like, which was actually years and years ago when I was tiny, was iron brew ice cream.
Oh, remember that?
Very nice.
Yeah.
And that was kind of before I actually liked iron brew, but the ice cream is very nice.
Yes.
So yeah. Yeah.
I do remember iron brew. Oh, it's just such a Scottish thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching this and you're not Scottish or you're not from Scotland, go into like your local big store and just have a wee iron brew. It's good for the soul. It's just really great. What favourite choreography from Six?
Ooh. I mean, the whole thing is pretty legendary, isn't it? Carrie Ann's incredible.
Yes.
What's my favorite? I think that I really like a lot of Get Down. I really, really like the kind of subtlety and like the sass from a lot of Get Down. I feel like
Yeah.
that, like it sits well with me. I like that kind of minimalist. I'm not trying. I'm just cool. Like I love that. I love to try and achieve that.
Yes. Um, Best advice you've ever gotten from someone you look up to?
Wow. Hmm. That is really intense. I think I think some of the best advice that I've got from people is usually all kind of just surrounding the idea of like you don't have to be perfect. Everything you do doesn't have to be perfect, you know. As long as you're working towards being the best version of yourself. And not even in a like kind of a superficially like I'm gonna be like really fit and healthy. I mean just like the very bare minimum of just being like a good person that does like good
Hmm.
in the world and like good for yourself. As long as like that's what you're going for, you don't owe anybody anything else. Like you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to be successful in the way that other people define success. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to like certain things. Like you don't owe the world anything. You're already alive. So just like live as you and just don't cause harm. And that's
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
My mum says that, see, if you are one step ahead of where you were yesterday, it's been a great day. You don't need to run a mile. You
Yeah.
don't have to get 100 steps ahead. See if you're at least one step further than the person you were yesterday. And that doesn't need to be like you said, it doesn't need to be a fitness thing. It could just be a mental thing. It could be like, yeah, I got out of my bed and I made my bed today. I didn't do that yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a great thing. And if
Totally.
if that's all it takes to get that one step further,
Yeah.
you make your bed. You make that bed, queen.
Yeah, and progress isn't linear either. Like, it's fine to do something and you think you're going in the right direction and then to suddenly end up four places behind and be like, what's going on? I thought I already did this. Like
Yep,
it happens to everyone. That's just the way it goes. So just
absolutely. Um, how obsessed are you with Caitlin's cover
oh,
of Monster?
how amazing is she? How did she do this? I hadn't even really heard that song until I watched her cover and I was like, oh cool.
You
Yeah,
have never heard that song,
I know, yeah, yeah, I know. I know.
Alicia.
No, I'd actually love to be Elsa. I think that'd be fun. No, but she's just amazing. She's so inspirational. Her voice, her everything. She's great. Love her.
Love her. Um. Oh, if you could mix the Kay Howard costume with any other costume, what would it be?
Okay. Maybe maybe a bit of Berlin because I really like her kind of massiveness of the skirt. But also maybe Par because imagine Kay Howard with like sexy trousers.
Yeah.
Or actually I completely have changed my mind. Um Howard mixed with Broadway cleaves so that I can have like big thigh high boots.
Oh,
Big sparkly pink thigh high boots. That is the sex. I want that.
yes.
That's my answer. Buzz me in.
That's my answer. Best cameo request you've ever gotten?
That says strangest.
Oh, strange. The one above, I think, was best. Okay,
Okay. I'm like,
strangest cameo.
keep lying to me. The strangest one that I've ever got is probably I get some weird monologue-y ones, which
Oh,
I enjoy. It's fun and interesting to like read new monologues. But I get some weird monologue ones, and I get some requests to, actually, the strangest cameo requests that I've gotten have been ones that I haven't done, and they've been from weird men. If you catch
I
my
honestly, I had no idea what you were going to say there. Like, no, and now I know. Now I
yeah,
know. Yep.
I don't even have to say anymore. I've had some weird cameo requests from some strange men, and I was tempted not to do the request, but just to take the money, but I didn't in the end.
Yeah. Opinion on bootlegs.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna lie, guys. There's kind of only one acceptable opinion on bootlegs, which is that they're illegal and you can't do them. Basically, I think it would be dishonest for me to say that I don't get excited if I see footage of myself that I like. Obviously, I'm like, whoa, that's me, but that's not the point.
Sorry, you're like, what?
Don't let me do it again. Whoa, that's me. Yeah, that's not the point because they are illegal, so you can't do it.
Yeah.
So can I just say, see if you have got like a great bootleg, or like there's like footage that you know is like not supposed to be there. Don't like tag me because I don't want to ruin your fun. And if you tag me, then I'm gonna have to be like, oh, so like just like if there's something that you're like, oh, this is great, and I don't want it to go away, don't tag me in it. Don't make this for everyone, okay?
If it's really good, drop her a DM.
Exactly.
But
but like in secret.
hush hush.
Yeah.
the best scrunchie you own?
Oh, see, this is from a lovely little lady that makes me very pretty scrunchies. I think my favourites have to include the little pink ones with the red hearts that yours truly sent. And I also really like. I mean, I really like scrunchies. I have a lot of scrunchies, and I use them kind of all dependent on my outfit. So I really have a special place in my heart for like most of them. Not gonna lie. I need a rainbow
Favorite? Oh, nice. Favorite thing about Glasgow?
Ooh, favorite thing about Glasgow.
I think there is really only one answer to this, to be honest. Although, let's see what you say.
No, wait, what's the answer?
No, you go first. This is your Q&A, queen.
Well, I mean, I think my favorite thing about Glasgow is I just love being in Glasgow Centre.
Yep.
Like, I love the whole thing of like getting a train through and just being in the middle of Glasgow and like having so many shops around, and I just think it's really really nice. It's like even just like the people, like what people watching in Glasgow is amazing.
There it is. That's the answer. That is the answer.
The people.
The people, like, I don't know if it's just because I'm really patriotic and I love Scotland, but like, I could honestly say to you that if you come into Glasgow and you feel like really shy and nervous and scared about being somewhere new, see if you just walk up to someone and ask for directions, we'll end up taking, if you're of age, we'll end up taking you to a pub and we'll go for lunch and we'll become best friends. And I just think that's the best thing about Glasgow. I think the people are just amazing.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely a nice, warm kind of atmosphere. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's like horrible human beings all over the world, but
all over. Yeah, just ignore them.
Yeah, just. But
just ignore them.
There's just a very warm and friendly kind of atmosphere in like Glasgow that you don't really feel so much in places like London, or at least I don't.
Indeed.
Yes. At the same time, I really love London as well, so I'm probably just.
So, I just want to wrap up with last little nice question before everything ends. So, if you could speak to yourself 10 years younger, what would you say to little Alicia? Like, what would you say to that person?
Wow. I think that I would probably. I think I would like remind her to like identify and like hold on to the parts of life that are really that make like everything really like worth it, and that are like very inspiring, and to just like. I mean, I'm actually really pleased with like what I've achieved and like where I am, and I feel like really really lucky, and I feel very proud of myself for a lot of the things that I've like learned and a lot of things that I've like done for other people. So I think that honestly whatever she's doing is like going in the right direction. So I think I would just be like, yeah, like it'll work out. Just keep on keeping on, and maybe try and be kinder sooner, I think.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of things that I like learned that and everyone takes time to learn things, but I think, there's nothing wrong with wishing that you learned things sooner.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you to my lovely Alicia, my little theatre child. Little claps in the comments for taking your time out to join in, and thank you to all the lovely people in the comments. The comments were coming in thick and fast, like the accents, that it was too fast to read them all. But absolutely loved it. So we are almost coming to the end of our Virtually Fringe. So if you're joining us from Alicia's page, this page that I'm on is called Car Crash. And we are a Fringe predominantly theatre company, and obviously with the Fringe not happening this year, we're feeling the pinch a little bit. So if you could spare the price of a little coffee or absolutely anything, the link is in our bio. But yes, thank you so much for joining. And I mean, you and I are going on a coffee date soon, so
we are.
I'll see you soon. Yes. But thank you to everyone that's joined in, and enjoy the rest of your Thursday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.